Hey guys, I'm MTGA, and I'm here again for another Best of One standard event with the updated Boros Ascension deck. So all the links are going to be in the description. The top comment is going to be a link if you'd like to subscribe or become a member to get early access. Let's jump into the deck. So there have been a couple changes here since the new set has dropped. One of the biggest additions is Kinscare Sentry, which is a 2-mana 2/2 first strike lifelink Kithkin Soldier. And whenever this creature attacks, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. So this is really nice with the Firebender Ascension card, which is kind of what the deck centers around. This enchantment creates a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1, and then whenever you have a creature attack that causes a triggered ability to trigger, you put a quest counter on this enchantment, and then once you have 4 or more, you can start copying those abilities. So this is another thing that will trigger the Firebender Ascension. Every other creature in this deck will also trigger Firebender Ascension, with the exception of one copy of Suki, Courageous Rescuer, which helps kind of buff the rest of the team, and then whenever a permanent leaves the battlefield on your turn, you can create a 1/1 white ally creature token, which is really nice with Mobilize, where we have like Voice of Victory and Stadium Headliner to help create tokens that will go away, thus triggering Suki. So this is really nice because it helps us kind of cheat mana out a little bit faster in this deck. So if you play this like on turn 2 and then you attack with 2 creatures, you can then put a 2/2 into play, or if you only have like one creature, you could put like a 1/1 or like a 1/1 creature into play. It's also kind of nice because if you stack it with a creature with Mobilize, so if you attack with like Kinscare Sentry plus Headliner, and then the Mobilize token will come in. If you sort of stack the triggers, you can then have like a 3-drop come into play also. So kind of fun. Yeah, every creature in the deck basically helps the plan of kind of turning on Firebender Ascension. You have Voice of Victory, which helps kind of turn off your opponent's casting spells on your turn. You have the Firebender Ascension itself, which helps create extra mana through firebending. You have one copy of Inti, Seneschal of the Sun, which helps kind of your creatures go tall by putting +1/+1 counters on them and giving them trample. Also helping you draw a little bit. Arabella helps by draining your opponent out, equal to the number of creatures you control, power 2 or less. And then you have Delney to double all of your triggers and also give you unblockable against creatures with power 3 or greater. You have Anim Pakal to help sort of create a gnome army through attacking. And then you also have like Hired Claw, which can start pinging your opponent. You can get multiple ping triggers. Kavaron Harrier, which can create attacking 2/2 colorless robots. And then the Stadium Headliner helps out with giving you a little bit of removal in a creature by sacrificing it to do damage equal to the number of creatures you control the target creature. For the removal suite, we have a full playset of Sheltered by Ghosts, one of the kind of the premier removal in white to help fight other aggressive decks and deal with big threats like Ouroborid. We have a full playset of Seamrip to help fight against the mono white Auras deck, and also really good against like Badger Mole Cub. And then a full playset of Burst Lightning to either just like ping our opponent out or kind of deal with like smaller threats. And that's the deck. So let's jump in. This is a deck that I played for quite a bit in over like the past couple months, and really excited to get a new creature for it. So I think Kinscare Sentry is going to be a great addition to the deck. This is also the deck that I'm using right now to try to kind of rank up on ladder, and I feel like it's pretty good, but I suppose we'll see. All right, opening hand. Oh, also forgot to mention the deck is very low to the ground. It has 18 lands, 17 sources of red and 17 sources of white on turn 1. And yeah, I kind of started off with a little bit of a higher land count with 21 lands, and it just was flooding out, which is kind of crazy, but you know, just kept shaving it down until I got down to 18 lands, and it's been working great. All right, so let's get Kavaron Harrier up against mono red. If they happen to have like the 2/2 haste guy for 2, we want to be able to block it and trade up. And now we just want to kind of, this is kind of a tough situation because we want to get the value off Kinscare Sentry, but they almost certainly have burn in hand. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to double spell this turn instead. I guess I don't know what flavor of mono red we're up against, but usually when you can double spell, it's almost always correct. There's like corner cases where you're up against like Day of the Black Sun or things like that where it could be wrong, or if they have like split up, but when they don't have sweepers, usually you want to double spell if you can. Okay, Rakdos, interesting. Okay, so like Rakdos Goblins. Sure. I think I just want to get the Kinscare Sentries going. We could use Shelter by Ghosts here, but we kind of don't really need to. I think I'm just going to push with the... I suppose we could get rid of the token if we really wanted to. Yeah, this is kind of it's a very nice play against us since the little 1/1 can trade up quite a bit. Guess we could just fight through it. But getting 2 for 1 here feels pretty bad. Maybe we just play Sentry and pass, which sounds crazy, but I don't know. Yeah, Elder Hunty is pretty good against our deck. Not really sure what to expect against Rakdos Goblins. Lots and lots of goblins, I guess. All right, so we could get in with, I suppose, with the Harriers. If we use Headliner and Sheltered by Ghosts, we can keep the Sentry alive. Otherwise, they can like quadruple block and get us. So maybe we just do that. The problem is, like, if they have removal for our Kinscare Sentry, it's pretty bad, because like if they can replay Auntie, it's kind of terrible. So maybe we just push and just, you know, accept some trades. I think what I might do is I might just attack with the Kinscare Sentry and then just not use its ability. Definitely been a very weird game. We could Pain here and then have access to Headliner, but I think we're doing okay. Maybe just have this enter tapped. They can attack with Frenzied Goblin and make our Kinscare unable to block. But if they, honestly, if they want to race, like, I'm fine with that. All right, so they've got a Death Touch. They've got a couple Death Touchers here. So I think, yeah, here we might as well use Shelter by Ghost to get rid of the Boggart Curse Catcher, and then if they decide to block, or we can always use Headliner to take out the other one. Yeah, I think just Headliner to get rid of Brigade feels pretty good. We can do it after blocks in case they want to like quadruple block or something. And I'm not going to use the ability. All right, looks like they're just going to let it through. So they surveil with Nightblade. All right, we're up a little bit of life. I think having access to the extra mana can pain for 2 here. Barbed Bloodletter. Okay, that gives this thing Death Touch until end of turn or Wither. I think that's fine. Again, if they want to race, happy to. All right, yeah, we'll take it. I guess that's game. Well, not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. All right, 1-0. Yeah, if they drew any like Goblin Lords, that could have turned potentially quite nasty. All right, on the play, 2 land, happy to keep. We'll lead out here with Inspiring Vantage into Headliner. Got a little bit of removal, a couple creatures. Looks like we might be up against, is it Lessons or I guess Jeskai Control? All right, Inti is pretty nice. I think Voice is great though, so that we can turn off their counter spells. And this is like one of those decks that if they have like Day of Judgment on turn 4, like they just kind of get you. But if you wait around till turn 7, it's pretty bad. So I don't recommend doing that. See if we get a free land here. Seamrip is not great against this deck. I think we want to put the counter on the Voice just to make it a little harder to kill in case they have like Helix or something like that. Ooh, nice pickup. So hopefully no like Pinnacle Star Cage or Split Up. Okay, this might just be lights out. I think we're gonna keep, I suppose we could spread around maybe on like the headliner here. Spread out the threats a little bit. Let's see, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. It'll be 10. Yeah, okay, so we've got lethal here. All right, on to the next. Okay, opening hand looks good. We've got 2 mana and a little bit of removal, a couple other things. Okay, up against green. Let's see, we've got more white in hand, so probably choose white for this. I think we want voice, although Arabella into Delney is pretty nasty. It's like a double drain. This will, I guess at the lower levels they're the same. So I think I'll just go for voice here. Once we get more creatures, Arabella doubling will be better. But voice is also nice in case it's like omniscience and they have blue encounters and whatever. Okay, just mono green. Yep, happy to go for some Delney. So next turn we've got, let's see, 5, 7, potentially 9 damage coming in, 11 if we draw a land. All right, Seamrip feels pretty good here. And we can push. So we're not pushing for lethal. I think I'm just going to play the Arabella here since they don't have board wipes. That'll drain them for 16. Yeah, and that's gonna about do it. All right. So you want to drag these all the way to the back, just so they see the other tokens coming in. Sure. Gonna have so many tokens. A cool drain for 20. Oh. Alright, 3-0. Opening hand looks great. 2 mana. Happy to keep. Go Inspiring Vantage into Harrier. Probably go for Inti on 2. Firebender Ascension would be fine also. But kind of, yeah, getting Inti going is nice. Although it is worth consideration, like this does potentially eats extra mana, so Firebender Ascension could be good if we go that route. I think I'm just going to go for Inti here. Against Azorius control, Shelter by Ghost is a pretty good card to discard. It's not terribly useful right away. There are like corner cases where they have like Pinnacle Star Cage where it can be quite good, but for the most part it's kind of a liability. We could go for Suki here, but I think I'm just going to... I kind of want to get the triggers, but like if we draw like a 2-drop, it would be nice to be able to play it for free, or to be able to play it, period. I think I'm just going to attack and then just... Or maybe just not Inti this turn. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll go for Ascension, get the triggers, and then maybe get like a free land, something like that. They are not having any of it. I think I'm not going to discard here and then just play the land out. We definitely want both of these cards. Oh, and actually I meant to put that into play tap. That was a mistake. They have the Star Cage. Not expecting the Star Cage. So if we play Ascension, we can start getting value out of it by attacking next turn. Suki is more mana efficient. This actually represents more damage if we play the Ascension first. So I think I'm just going to do that. Yeah, the thing is, even if we had like the Shelter by Ghost to deal with the Star Cage, like any kind of removal, and like we're just totally blown out. So it's pretty bad in this matchup. Cage number 2. We don't have any more discards, so like only 1 copy of Inti, so there's no reason to hold the land. Well, we could Sheltered by Ghosts. I guess if they get rid of it, it doesn't really do that much. We don't really lose anything. And yeah, this is just such a not great card in this matchup. Yeah. Like if they kill our creature here, it's not the end of the world. It's annoying, but Sheltered by Ghosts is almost a dead card in this matchup. If they counter it, great. Well, not great, but you know what I mean. Buzzley is deep in the tank. So I'm guessing he has some piece of permission, is just like deciding whether or not he wants to counter this. There it is. All right. Must have some deep decisions over there. Yeah, luckily we only have 18 land, so we are almost through 1/4 of all the land in our deck. Sure, Day of Judgment. That works. We might win just by roping them out. So out of curiosity, are there any other decks you guys would like to see? I've just been kind of brewing a little bit for the new set. There's a really fun black enchantment. I think it's, I want to say it's like Gift of Mornsong, which looks really good in like kind of like a suicide black build, just by like turning off card draw, which is pretty amazing. And like forcing your opponent to take 3 damage every turn to go and find a card. Like that, coupled with like a bunch of like early pressure, seems really good. They do get to like tutor their deck every turn, just like you do, but the theory is that like they're at like sub 10 life when this happens, and then you just close it out real quick. I also think that there's going to be like just so many decks to explore with formidable, whatever the 2/4 green elf card. That card is just completely absurd. Okay, Wan Shi Tong. Burst Lightning in response. Okay, Pinnacle Star Cage number 3. No tokens allowed. This guy is serious about his board wipes. We are getting roped hard here. It's kind of funny. We're 18 land in the deck and still flooding a little bit. But I think 18 feels pretty good, though. We've been able to see like 2 land openers for the most part, so happy about that. I think at one point I was experimenting, like taking the deck down to like 16 land, and I was just mulliganing into oblivion. So I'm guessing he has a counterspell. Alright, there is another Star Cage. Just when you thought it was over, it wasn't. Looks like he's going to be using one of his... Oh, sure. Spirit Water Revival. Draw 7. It's pretty good. Yeah, that is one of the best cards in this deck. We're just getting kind of brutalized here. Probably out of it, but gonna try to fight on a little bit. Although there are some... Oh my god, the roping is rough. Yeah, each match is is noted in the timestamps, so I would would not blame you if you skip to the next one here. Assuming everything is going to get countered under the sun. He's holding 9 cards in hand. What you got, Buzzley? Okay, Wanchi Tong for 7 is pretty quick. But it also might just be a mercy killing and make this game end. All right, I'm gonna wait for the counterspell here, but we'll try for it. The real answer is this game's super over. He can just use like Star Cage to block. It's just not looking good. Sulp for 11. Yep. Seems pretty good. Okay. That'll do it. Whew! Get me out of this game. All right, 3 and 1. Okay, 1 lander. We're going to try for a 2 lander. There it is. And I think we'll probably keep 1 piece of removal here. Probably throw back a headliner, I'm guessing. If we draw another 1-drop, going triple 1-drop is nice, but I think do it like that. Well, let's choose red here. Rakdos something. Okay, now we can get the Sentry online. Start cheating out extra creatures. At least that's the plan. Okay, Grixis. Have not seen Grixis really much at all. Some kind of like Grixis Reanimator deck. Alright, let's get Ascension going. Gonna sacrifice the headliner here to get Arabella online. Now, it would be really nice if this triggered on the way in, but that would be asking a lot. They probably run like Zombify, I'm guessing, something like that. To try to get something big into the yard. I suppose like Overlord is decently large. Yeah, there's the Zombify. But Sheltered by Ghosts is actually decent here. Okay, I think we'll lose the mana dork. Does Shelter by Ghost change our damage trajectory? Let's see if we order it so that we get a double hit off Arabella. So I'll drain them for 4. And then 7. Yeah, we can 2-turn them. You know, I'm not sure. I feel like maybe we just use a Shelter by Ghost to use our mana here, and then just push a little extra. Only reason I'm doing it is because I have an extra one in hand. Okay, now this one, I don't know which of these, like, because they don't tell you the order of which one's happening in which order. So we're going to get an extra... Okay, luckily the system is smart, because you have no way of knowing which one is going to be the one that goes to 4 and then gets the double trigger. Okay, Faithful. Alright, so I think they're dead quite a few different ways. Guess we can Shelter by Ghosts. Don't think they have a 1-mana removal spell here, but yeah, that's gonna do it. All right, 4-1. Okay, opening hand looks good. We've got 2 mana, some removal. Could use a 2-drop. Alright, let's start with the Foundry. Try to get a board presence first. See if they've got a... We'll do a Badger Mole check. Alright, looks like they really want to get to 4 mana. Probably have Ouroboros in hand. We could double Seamrip. I think if they had an Ouroboros, or if they had a Badger Mole, they would have played it, I'm guessing. I guess the real question is, I guess let's attack first and see what they do. Maybe they will go for a trade here, although I doubt it. Alright, and then I think we definitely Seamrip at least 1 elf. Might Seamrip another one. If they've got land plus Ouroboros, it's pretty good. Getting a Harrier down would be nice. I suppose like if we just like Shelter by Ghost to get like a couple buffs here, it's not the end of the world. I think I just want to get acceleration. Yeah, this is close. I think we just want more pressure. Like maybe they don't have the Ouroboros. I think 1 Seamrip though is probably good. So if they go like land Ouroboros, we do have the Shelter by Ghost. If I didn't have Shelter by Ghosts, I think I'd probably double Seamrip. They do have land. So many elves. Maybe they just have like Craterhoof in hand. They're just like a couple mana short. Delney doesn't really do much here. Guess we can just attack and just see what happens. Maybe Seam Rip another elf. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna decline and then play Delney after combat. Just like make, I don't know, make them assume I've got tricks in hand. I have no idea. I guess if they're holding Badger Mole, they could have potentially like hoofed there. Now they are one away, I think, from casting. No, not quite. They've got only 7 mana if they play a land. Kind of tempted to Seam Rip here. Maybe take out like one of the pollinators just for double blocking purposes. Maybe we just make a bunch of robots. Hold off on the Hired Claw. Yeah, I'm not sure here. Like, maybe only make one robot and then, like, save for, like, Seam Rip plus Hired Claw. But again, they don't have enough mana if they just draw land. Kind of curious what they're holding. It's got to be like 3 Crater Hoofs or something. I have no idea. All right, I guess we Seam Rip one of them and just like play out most of our hand here. Yeah, I'm really curious what they've got in hand. Sure. Red. Okay. Teamer. All right. That's kind of cute. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I was like, they've got to have like 3 copies of Craterhoof in hand. It just didn't make sense. 5 and 1. One lander, unfortunately. Hoped them all into 2. Okay, looks good. Ooh, actually with Suki, maybe we keep all 3. Can't count on drawing a 3rd land. Suki is pretty good, but at the same time, these can potentially cheat Suki out into play. I think I'm gonna go down to 2 lander here. Like, this is just such an aggressive deck. You don't want to get flooded. So we'll put a Multiversal Passage back, I think. Might be a bad call with all the 2-drops we're drawing, so maybe we should have kept the 3rd land. I don't know. We have 21 1-drops in the deck, so we do have a lot of 1-drops. This is kind of like the closest to like the Suicide Black. I just think that I haven't seen like this deck run the that enchantment that I'm talking about. I think Mornsong Aria is what it's called, and it is really exciting because I have not seen a card that turns off drawing extra cards for a long time, and I definitely just want to stick it to like the Azorius control mages and just no more drawing cards for you. Yeah, this is a very aggressive deck though, for sure. Okay, it's very nice pickup. Let's get Kinscare plus Hired Claw. These guys are really doing the Lord's work against these Forsaken Miners. And these Moon Shadows are particularly nasty. Yeah, the Gorehound plus Moon Shadow combo is just really good. Alright, I will get the free 2 life. That seems good to me. This is going to grow, but we're going to gain some life. Alright, so now we can Ascension plus Sentry. Unfortunately, we don't have good attacks because of these Moon Shadows. We do need to find like either like a Shelter by Ghost or a Seam Rip. These things are just taking over the game. Yeah, the Gorehound is doing a lot of work. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're giving us the free. The free life is really nice. I guess this does grow their moon shadows, but we will take the 4 life for sure. Alright, so I think it's time to push. We are going to start double triggering here. They can kill one of the sentries. But we're going to get a guy back, so that's still pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, that looks fine. And again, I have no idea which one triggers in what order. One of my viewers did compile a list to figure out what order they actually happen in. I know they've changed it, so it's super confusing. But if you're watching, if you'd be so kind to update it to include Kinskare Sentry, that would be amazing. We got more action. Okay. All right, let's grow our Hired Claw. We are going to be taking a whole lot of damage from these Moon Shadows. Cool 13 damage if we choose to accept it. But if Suki survives, I think we have a decent chance at winning the race here. Yeah. That might just do it. Let's see, we're gonna get 6 mana. Okay, yeah, so we just push. And that should do it. Do they have removal for Suki is the question. I think they're still dead, even if they do. Yeah, because I think that so they take 2 from Hired Claw, they go to 6. Block, block, they're still dead. Yeah. And that'll do it. Good game. That was a close one. Yeah, and those Moon Shadows are really good. I think they will definitely have a place in that aforementioned Suicide Black deck. All right, 6-1. Final boss. Can we make it? All right, opening hand looks great. Got mana, stuff to do. I think we'll lead out here with Harrier, just because it has the 2 power. These are a little bit better just a little later. Okay, Plans is usually paired with control colors, so we'll go for Voice of Victory here, I think. We could also just use Harrier to push, but I think having 2 creatures is probably fine. Also, getting Voice out is really nice against blue-white, if that's what it is. Yes, it is. Main phase Consult. Love to see it. We probably shouldn't commit too much more to the board here, because they probably have nonsense. They might have, like, Pinnacle. They might have Split Up. I guess we have a pretty stacked hand, so we could theoretically put, like, maybe 1 Stadium Headliner. Then we can, like, do another, like, full refill. So, yeah, I suppose it can be, like, cautiously aggressive here. But yeah, Harrier is really nice against blue-white because you can, like, essentially have, like, 4 power from it by not overextending. And now they need, like, exactly Pinnacle Star Cage. Alright, I think we want to keep the Harrier going, so we can probably add maybe like 1 Headliner to the mix. But like Harrier just like puts so much pressure on them. We do have a full refill, so we could like push 1 more Headliner, but they might have like. We could wait for like the turn 4 Day of Judgment check. If they had Split Up, it actually would be pretty good here. So maybe we play around Split Up by putting out like 1 Headliner. Because if they go like Day of Judgment, we could go like Firebender Ascension plus Harrier, and that's still pretty good. So I'm going to be a little aggressive here. Alright, the fact that they didn't even think about it has me a little worried, because now they might have just Day. Yeah, they had the Day. Okay, so that was calculated risk. Now we can Kinscare plus Harrier. So that might have been a little bit too aggressive. So I think if we kept our Headliner there, we'd be up a card, obviously. Ooh, Seamrip is actually a really nice play. So if we Seamrip here and they don't counter it, then it's like forcing their hand almost. So I'm kind of curious what they do here. Because then they won't be able to play any spells. So they have to counter this if they have it. Do you have more? Okay, Flanker is pretty good. Alright, so if we attack... Let's see, we get Ascension and Headliner. I don't think we want to do it. I think we want to use Harrier here to push. So we push for 6, push for 7. They're forced to block. They probably block Harrier. But I don't know if we're supposed to put this out there, because they have like another Day. It's so awful. kind of like to force them to block, though. I feel like that is pretty good. Again, this might be a little bit aggressive, but this is forcing lethal, so they have to block. I think they were going to anyways, but... Now they need, like, day number 2 or Ultima, and I guess they didn't have it. So yeah, like, earlier in that game, like, maybe it was too aggressive playing, like, the extra 1-drop, like, the turn before they dayed. But, yeah, it worked out. 7-1, got there. And, yeah, there's the sweet prizes. I do think this deck is really good for climbing ladder. I think, I'm trying to think where we are right now on ladder. Yeah, 99%, so there might be better decks to, like, climb, like, up to, like, top 1200 or top 250, but it is nice and quick for the most part, unless your opponent decides to rope you out. Yeah, I recommend the deck. So anyways, put in the comments if you've tried it and, like, how it's working for you, and we'll see you in the next one.